McLachlan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I share Senator Linares' enthusiasm for the product of the Tesla automobile. I think it's a cool car. I'm hopeful that Senator Linares will let me borrow his Tesla someday that I can drive it. But I think that where we go down different paths is I don't feel comfortable kicking aside 100 years of franchise law in the state of Connecticut. We have 250 franchise new car dealers in the state of Connecticut with 14,000 employees. And I'm perplexed in trying to understand why the legislature is willing to carve out a special exception for one company and kick aside this long history of success for new car sales in the state of Connecticut. I believe that's not the right way to go for several reasons. One is, let us not forget that the local franchise dealer is just that, a local family-owned business in many cases. The dealerships that I do business with in my hometown are just that, family-owned operations. And so what else does it mean? Well, what else it means is that those employees and dealer principals are showing their good faith in their community with a tremendous amount of philanthropic activity, volunteerism, and things of that nature. So we have new car dealerships that are well entrenched in the community, and this legislature looks to just look the other way and say, no, we understand longstanding law, but we're going to make this special exception for Tesla. Now, I have a hard time with special exceptions. Ironically, most Republicans in this building don't like carve-outs in legislation. So I'm trying to figure out why I haven't been able to convince some of my fellow Republican legislators that a carve-out like this is what we often are opposed to. But having said that, I'm also have a very difficult time with another hard-fought carve-out, and that's with Uber. You see, why would the legislature want to make all these special deals with companies? That's not what it's about. Policy making should be to cover all, not just special interest, not just one company. And these 250 franchise new car dealers in the state of Connecticut are being kicked aside. You see, Tesla, we can all share the enthusiasm that people across the country and certainly in Connecticut have for the Tesla product. I applaud that enthusiasm. And Tesla can turn on sales in Connecticut tomorrow. All they have to do is go recruit the 3 or 4 best new car franchise dealers in the state of Connecticut, and those dealers will work with Tesla to build the fanciest, proudest service facility and new car showroom that they can imagine having tomorrow. But Tesla won't do that. Why? We have successful business people in the state of Connecticut that are willing to be partners with Tesla, that are willing to be the front line for the Tesla product, just like they are for Cadillac and Lincoln and Ford and Subaru. All the other manufacturers across the world work through the franchise system. Tesla should do that here in Connecticut. Here's another very grave concern of mine. If we carve out a special deal for Tesla, as they've been able to convince some other legislatures across the country to do, from what I understand, there's still 23 states that expressly forbid direct sales by manufacturers, which is what Connecticut is right now. Today, Connecticut expressly forbids a manufacturer to directly sell to the consumer, and we're not unlike many other states across the country, about half. So this is not a unique situation for Connecticut. But what I'm concerned about is that our 100-year-old franchise laws may go into a quagmire of court fights following this special carve-out that this legislature plans to do. What does that mean? Well, what about Ford Motor Company? What about Subaru? What about all these other manufacturers that have long-standing franchise agreements with new car franchise dealers in Connecticut? What if those companies, any one of them, decide they're going to kick aside the franchise law of Connecticut and seek to invalidate the franchise agreement? Well, now you have 250 small businesses in Connecticut with 14,000 employees that I believe, frankly, you are creating a new quagmire of legal fights that are inappropriate, that this legislature should be bringing on these small businesses. So I urge my colleagues to think twice. I share the enthusiasm once again for Senator Linares and the product. I just wish that this legislature would stop with the carve-outs and give the franchise new car dealers in Connecticut, successful business people, the opportunity to prove to Tesla that they can be a good business partner and will do whatever it takes to make Tesla shine in Connecticut under Connecticut franchise laws. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.